Hey everyone, how you doing out there? Oh wow, what a day! Well, yeah, this 2021 is turning out to be a bit more exciting starting off than 2020 was for me. Just found out late last night, got a text from my wife saying, "Hey, has Brandon talked to you? I just got contacted by the lender. They want to close on the house 4 days early." I'm like, haven't heard anything. And I was just before this, I was across the street talking to Brandon out there, and they're, he's thinking they're supposed to close on Wednesday. My wife's thinking they're supposed to close on Thursday. So he's calling the realtor. To say, all right, what's going on? Which date is it? Because don't forget, she's in California. She still has to drive up here. So it's going to be fun, but it also looks like on February 1st, I can actually move in over there on Monday. So next week, I'm going to be calling to get internet set up to be installed over there on Monday. I'll still be up here probably for most of the week next weth. Most of the first week of February. And as I get everything set up over there, and then I will cross the street and move in over there. But all right, let's see who's all in the house here. Well, of course, Uncle Al was the first one to say anything. And then we got Asa Redburn here. And then we have Kaylin Strain, Courtney at Wide Family Farm, Butch at Sand Hollow Homestead, Dutch Off-Grid Homestead from over in the Netherlands, and Michael 58, Raven Cat Homestead at Cecilia. And downhill farther, everyone's still talking to each other. Anybody new coming in here? Grammy Karen's in the house. Everybody's chatting back and forth. And Mary Beth Smith's in the house. Cool. And then, of course, we still have like 4 or 5 that are out there just lurking and watching. Hey, guys, it's okay. You can lurk and watch. You don't have to comment. But if you feel like commenting,
no. If they're going to be here, they need to at least say boo. That's it.
Boo.
Just boo. Boo, hit the thumbs up, and that's good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
and
hi, Steve. Hi, Tyler. Lurking in the background again.
Yeah, that's probably Steve.
Yeah. But, speaking of Steve, that was a very interesting live stream on the Radio Check Friday morning for, of course, their trainers this morning. Albany Mountain Homestead. Boo.
See,
okay.
I told you it would work.
Yeah. All righty. Let's see. Before I jump into this. Okay, guys, everyone out there.
He's not my president.
Huh?
He's not my president. Oh, wait. Sorry. Wrong stream. I'm sorry.
What? This guy down below me here put out a couple good videos today. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Uncle Al, that's Die Bullfrog 79. You'll see him in the side chat there, Die Bullfrog 79. Check out his videos here that he did today. He was going over what you need to put into a good food storage and talking that stuff and talking about. Just go watch the videos. They're really good. Okay, Francis McKenna's in here. Cool. All right. Hopefully, we'll have answer all your questions, guys. If you have questions anywhere along the line, if I get my tongue to work right, type it in. All right. So let's go over to here. So we're going to talking basically about using your food storage properly. Yes, you can use it improperly.
You can?
Oh yeah.
You're not supposed to use your canned goods for target practice?
No, you're not supposed to use your 25-year-old freeze-dried stuff first.
Oh. Good thing that's at the bottom of the closet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look here. We're going to do some quick clarification here. So in food storage, your food storage can be broken up into basically 3 different types of things. Immediate use, which generally most people call, hey, that's my pantry. Short-term storage, long-term. So let's talk about what they are. So immediate use is basically foods that you can only store for use from now to out 30 days, maybe 60 days on some things like certain cereals and stuff like that. But you don't want to, you really don't want to, it's not made to be stored a long time. Your fruits and vegetables, your milk, your ice cream, things like that are, basically, hey, you buy it, you use it, and you replace it. Short-term food storage is for foods that can be stored from 30 days out to 2 years. This is, and when we're saying 2 years, we're talking about, best used by to get the best flavor out of it. Something that falls into this line I'm going to mention right now, it would be like white flour. You don't want to store it much longer because it's going to start changing its taste because it's picking, even though you throw some oxygen with it, its taste is going to change a little bit.
Reason why, folks, it's going rancid because once you break the hull of the wheat berry, it releases an oil, and that oil only has a 2-year lifespan. Yeah, that's what happens when you spend summers at a Mormon ranch.
Yeah, you learn all sorts of neat things.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So short term is your out to 2 years. And then your long term is for foods that can be stored from 2 to 25 or longer years. Now, guys, hang on to your hats on this one. Back in 1971, 50 years ago, okay, my parents bought a whole bunch of number 10 can storage from Sam Andy. That company has since gone out of business because they were undercut by cheap, lower quality companies.
For Patriots.
That too, but I think they were they had gone out of business before that company came into existence. Really.
Oh, that's just a subsidiary of about 6 other companies, which is owned by one parent company.
Yeah.
Yep.
They thought their paperwork was high and dry. All it takes is somebody with a little bit of computer knowledge and 1 or 2 people in the right ABC groups to find all the hidden little back doors that point to the parent company. Yep. They didn't do a very good job.
But anyways, back to the cans here. So my parents got a couple years worth of food storage in the Sam Andy cans that were nitrogen filled and all the proper things done on it, and we stored it properly ever since then. Well, about 20 years ago, we cracked a couple of them open, and guess what? The apple slices and banana chips were still good. And then my wife cracked one open here not too long back here. Still good. So that's 50 years that this stuff has been stored, and it's still good. So if you get the right stuff, it'll keep practically forever. All right, so let's move on here a little bit. Let me take a look at this picture here. Now, what do we say? Tater tots. Eat the tater tots first. Yeah, and don't forget tater salad and his son tater tot. Anybody doesn't know who that is, put a question mark in the side chat and I'll tell you who tater salad is.
Don't fall for it, folks.
It's a very famous comedian. Anyways, all right. So looking at this example of food storage, some of the stuff here on the bottom shelves here on the bottom left here, you got your pretzel mix, you got your cookies, and then in the next shelf up here, you got Cheerios and looks like 40% bran flakes there next to it.
Okay, Christy.
Or Raisin Bran. And those items there are definitely borderline immediate short term. They can probably go 60 days, maybe 90 days out, pushing it. You have over here, you got your pinto beans and your sacks of rice and stuff. So the way those are still in the bag and everything, I would put those in as short term. Now, if you properly put them into buckets with oxygen absorbers and did all, sealing and protecting of it, then they could go out longer than that. You go out 10, 15 years easy on the rice and stuff if it's properly done. In their white buckets, they got almonds in the one white bucket, oats in the next one. I'm trying to read this one. And even here on my big screen, it's kind of hard to read. Can't tell what that one is there. The other one here says seed corn.
Right, seed corn. The other one says some kind of bread.
I'm not. Yeah, something. There's 2 F's in the middle of it.
Or is it bulgur wheat?
I'm not sure what it is. It's not wheat. But anyways, of these things here, if they almonds, I'm not sure how long nuts keep because they have oils in them.
Right. It's usually 6 months. 6 months to a year.
Yeah. So if they had taken the time to
process
one of those cans of nitrogen, squirt it, the tube down in the bottom and squirt it from the bottom up to displace the oxygen, toss a couple oxygen absorbers in there, you'd get it to last a little bit longer.
Depends. If they're roasted, they'll last longer because roasting it will take the oil out of it. If they're natural, they won't last long at all. Which is why if you're going to buy peanuts for storage, make sure you buy roasted peanuts.
Right.
Because you'll see on the jar, even in the plastic jars that are, not very good, they have a 2-year expiration date.
Okay.
If you buy unroasted, they have like a 6-month expiration date.
Hello,
Gemini Homestead.
Right. I think it's a type of wheat.
Also, Christy Betts is in the house too.
Oh, you said hello.
Okay. And so you got Buddy at Buddy Gemini Homestead, and Buddy is Lippy in here too?
Oh yeah.
All right. So all right. Answer a question. It's not a question. All right, not a question, but a statement. All right, Christy Betts, she needs metal shelves. Okay. These type of metal shelves here, and I'm looking at these look like they have the plastic sheets that fit on top of it, the heavy duty plastic sheets. Sam's Club, $89, has the wheel kits on it. You can split them halfway up. They come actually got to put them together to begin with, but they're right about in the middle here. The tubes are 2-piece, so you put them together, or you can do double up your lower one, so I bet you get 5 shelves or 6 shelves, and so this $89 or $95. It fluctuates at Sam's Club under $100. Yeah, I got like 5 or 6 of these.
Who was it? Albany Mountain. Powdered peanut butter will last up to 25 years if it's packaged correctly. Because it's already been powdered, which means it's already been heated. The oils have been removed.
Right.
So it will last a long time until you open a can. Then probably 6 months to a year because you're letting oxygen into it.
Yeah. And folks, if you use water on that powdered peanut butter or powdered butter, I keep telling them, folks, it's a solid. It doesn't have any oil. So first time people used water with the powdered peanut butter, you got to see their reactions. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, you need to you got to add a little oil to it.
Peanut oil.
Peanut oil. That's why you store peanut oil. If you don't have peanut oil, you can use extra virgin olive oil. But
change the flavor.
Gunslinger Outdoors. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Gunslinger. And Dave's right. It does change the flavor, especially if you use the powdered butter. I keep telling people, if you use the powdered butter as a spread, non-solid, what was described in the paper? Dairy solid spread. If you put it on bread or pancakes, not a problem. Try cooking with it. Once it reaches over 200, you're going to have something that I don't want to eat frying in the pan.
It'll look more like a young baby diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
smell just as bad?
Did I say hello to Grammy Karen?
No.
I don't remember.
All right. Looks like Grammy Karen's in the house because people are saying hi to her. All righty. So on what you see here, the tuna and stuff, that's short term.
Yep.
The Vienna sausage is short term. The canned vegetables are short term because they're in liquid.
Hold on. Because I'm going to preface that with I've got green beans in the cupboard over there, which by your definition were short term, under 2 years. I got green beans in there, and I got probably 40 cans that are 5 years old.
Right.
Now, I cracked one open 2-3 months ago and cooked it. It drained all the juice out of it. When I do my green beans, I saute them.
Yeah.
Because I like mine slightly sauteed. Tasted just fine. 5 years old, but the can wasn't bulged. There was no rust on the outside of it.
Yeah.
The inside was nice and clean. So your best by date on some things, as long as it doesn't have an acidic property like your tomato sauces and stuff like that.
Right. Or oranges.
Well, that's got an acid content to it.
Right.
Any of your citrus does because it's got a citrus to it. Citric acid will tear the inside of those linings up in those cans. Yeah. Same with tomato juice. Same with peppers. So anything that doesn't have an acidic content to it will last past its expiration date as long as the can's kept in a cool, dry place. The can's undamaged.
Yeah, and they can go three or four times their expiration date, so long as they are good. But if you inspect the can, if you're starting to see any sort of rust on the outside, when you open it, be very careful.
No, wouldn't even open it. I'd set it outside and let somebody else grab it.
Yeah, but if it's starting to bulge or anything, but if the can is in perfect condition, then it's okay to check, open it up, and see if it smells funny.
Don't eat it.
Yeah,
but the big thing on canned foods, they found canned meats from the Scott expedition 1909, 1908,
like that.
Yeah. If it's like under, what was the temperature of Antarctic for the last 100 years?
Sub-zero.
Okay. If it's there, it's going to last forever. If you live where I live, where it's 106 during the summer, how long do you think your canned goods are going to last?
Not as long.
Right. They won't even make it past the expiration date.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Gunsray makes a big point once again. Yeah. It has a lot to do how and where you store it as well. Dry, cool location.
Which is why I keep my apartment a comfortable 62 to 68 degrees year round.
Let's see. Oh, hey, I'm at 67 in here right now.
It's 64 in here right now.
Okay. All right. So looking this up here, other stuff that is short term, powdered milk. Short term. Your spices up here on the right here, your spices are short term. Your tomato soup mix, short term.
Very short term.
Yeah. So what you have, how you store it, determines on how long it's going to last and when you're going to use it.
Mm-hmm. So that's another vegetable / whatever you want to call it, because some beans I don't even consider food. There are certain beans that can't be kept past their expiration date. They will actually go rancid inside the can, unopened, untouched.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you're going to do canned beans yourself or buy beans, make sure you do enough research to understand that some of them will go rancid very quickly.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page to realize that food storage is not all the same. Everything's a little bit different in your food storage. Some things are quick, last long. Spam. Spam is one of those meats that lasts a long time because it's loaded with salt. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the original Spam. The Spam that I had back in the 70s tasted much better than this crap on the shelves now.
True, because they changed the formula and the meat content. You could blame the Chinese for that, Dave.
Yeah.
I don't blame nobody. It's just they messed with my food and I ain't happy.
All right. So
nobody's happy.
All right. So let's get into a little bit more talking about using it. Kaylin points out a good thing. I know Anthony has the same problem too. Humidity in the summertime.
Right.
Now, one of the things that my daughter is going to have to do down in the basement here this summer is to get a dehumidifier down there, because once all the irrigation ditches around here start going and the ground defrosts and you start getting water down into the ground, the humidity in the basement goes up. So,
and Gunslinger, that's an urban myth. Twinkies go bad in 3 months.
They will not survive the zombie apocalypse.
No.
No, in fact, that's what the zombies are going to go after first.
Right, all the Twinkies.
Well, that and the snowflakes, but we'll leave that for another discussion.
All right.
I don't like snowflakes with snowballs. Bless.
All right, so let me bring something else up here for you guys. That's going to be this one here. All right, so I created a spreadsheet I've been using. I don't know how many years ago I created this, and it's gone through certain renditions. So my first tab was just talking about the same things we talked about there. You know, immediate use, short term, long term. Now remember, these are subjective. Some things that are maybe you consider immediate actually can go longer. You know, some things that might fall in short term could, like vegetables in good cans, can last longer than 2 years. All right. One of the things you need to do, and this is very important, everyone, you need to create menus. Basically, you're not going to be, if your food storage is where you can't go running to the store to buy whatever you want for next week's meals or this week's meals. A good rule of thumb, once again, this is just a rule of thumb, not carved in stone as an absolute, you cannot deviate from this at all. You should create a menu for 30 different dinners, 30 different lunches, and 15.
Don't touch my breakfast. We already discussed this before you started. Don't touch my breakfast.
For the rest of the normal people out here, 15 breakfasts. Yes, like I said, like David also talking. David says he has, a couple things. Yeah, for breakfast cereals, I have 3 main ones and then 3 other secondary ones. Shredded wheat, Raisin Bran, and Frosted Flakes. Hey, I can eat that. From now to doomsday. Be tossing in a box of light cereal now and then, I'll be really ecstatic.
Honeycombs.
Honeycombs. All right, but
doomsday's coming, folks. So
yeah, but you really need to do is set up, like 30 different. Only got 20 some odd on here, different types of meals. Now and then you on those meals, create secondary versions. Example right here would be the Chili Mac. The cheap chili, the instant Chili Mac. That is macaroni and cheese and a can of chili and beans. Boom, the original Chili Mac. Homemade Chili Mac. You have macaroni and noodles, can of chili and beans, or you make your own chili, and you add cheese sauce to it, or you can leave cheese sauce off.
Okay, Albany Mountain Homestead had a good question. Why can't you can cured meat? Okay, for 2 reasons. You're going to can a product that you already did one process to it. If you do not have the commercial canner to can that, you have a high risk of poisoning yourself from botulism. That's why a lot of people, I tell them, if you do one method of curing a meat, if you just take the raw meat and can it, that's not a problem. If you cure it and can it, like I keep telling people, do not can bacon if you don't know how to do it right. Yeah. Because if you cure it and then can it, you're going to have a big surprise once you eat it in about 6 months.
Yeah, there's doing double processing meats meats and stuff is a tentative gamble at best. Some people have the skills and they know how to do it. They are brought up by families that, their parents and grandparents have done it. So they know all the steps, everything to look out for. If you don't know all the steps.
If you want to know all the steps, go check out Mouse Toast channel.
Yeah. Don't just do it on your own.
No.
Check to find out what else, because there are going to be certain things you got to make sure of that generally people don't talk about.
Hey, 9 to 5.
Hey, Chad, how's it going? All right, so basically you want to have several different types of ways of cooking the different meals you do. Chicken noodle casserole, there's probably several different ways you can do chicken noodle casserole. There's a cheater way of using the canned chicken, or you use frozen chicken and you do it up, or you use go out to the chicken coop and say, all right, this rooster's been crowing too much, it's his time for the pot. But yeah, you can do different ways of doing things
and learn to make some of the so-called poor man dishes, like poor man's goulash, poor man's casserole, where you take regular egg noodles, because they taste better in my opinion, or whatever noodle you have, a can of cream of mushroom soup or a can of tomato soup, and some hamburger or chicken or whatever, and then take and fry up some green beans and put on the top of it. Put it in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes after you've got everything else pretty well cooked. That's just to finalize everything together in the oven, and you got yourself a nice, tasty casserole.
Mm-hmm. And along with this is, if it is a Kawaki situation.
Hey, Tip Top and David.
And hey, guys, and you don't have propane or natural gas working, or you have an electric stove and the power's out, don't forget, everybody here should have at least one, if not 4 Dutch ovens, different sizes for different things.
Okay, and here's another way to do it too. Survival Lily did it in a video a long time ago. I wouldn't be able to tell you where to look in her channel list, but she actually, I know it works because I've done it too, but her video actually shows it better. And I think it's actually in the title of the video, but this was like 5 years ago, maybe. She did a video where she took and dug one hole underground, a nice big wide hole. And then above it, another hole, a little bit smaller, but fairly good sized. And she used the heat in the ground from below to turn the top part into an oven of sorts. That's one way you can make a homemade oven.
Yeah. Okay, Albany Mountain was saying, okay, so he was saying about, it's recommended you cook hamburger before canning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, yeah, hamburgers, it's one of those oddball things, but still, you need to research all the steps. Those don't go out and do it. One of the things also is you got to make sure of in doing hamburger is that while you're cooking it, you cook it well done.
Right.
You cook all the fat out of it. It's not just lightly browning it where it's a kind of a gray brown. No, you are browning it, getting all that fat out of it, pressing, you pull it out, you have paper towels, you press it, you get all the fat out of it, because that is a problem for long-term food storage.
Right. If anybody's seen Ernie Hatmaker's video of her canning hamburger meat, if your seals are not right, okay, it looks like a sewer inside the pressure cooker after it explodes. You have brown goo everywhere. So check out her video.
Right. Okay. So in your menu, so you want to create at least 30 dinner, 30 lunches, and contrary to Dave's belief, at least 15 breakfasts. Because as far as my mind, breakfasts can include pancakes, waffles, sausage and bacon, omelets, oatmeal. Yeah, so there's a variety of, you want to have a variety, because you do not want to get food fatigue. Food fatigue is a killer.
Right. And folks,
the more menus you have pre-planned, the better you can plan for it.
Another thing too is that when you have a variety of menus, let's say you've got 8 people you're feeding, or in L's case 20, having a variety of menus helps keep morale up. If you run down and you've only got 3 different meals that you got to cook for the next 6 months, morale's going to go down because people are going to start looking at their food. I'm not eating this crap. I don't care what spices you put in it. They're not going to eat it. They're going to start to dehydrate. They're going to start losing body mass. They're going to wind up sick.
Yeah, there is that you just brought mine triggered my thought process here. One of the things during World War II was a lot of the guys had wrote home and stuff, and there's all these documented letters and stuff talking about how morale was so bad because they had just had a few things to eat and that was it, day after day after day.
Yeah, MREs get really bad after about the 4th day.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people around here have watched the TV show MASH. One of the ones I remember they were talking about that, they were getting sick and tired of the same old thing over and over again.
Well, Klinger wasn't a very good cook to begin with, but
no, Klinger wasn't the cook. It was the other one. I can't remember his name.
The skinny one with the bad teeth.
Yeah. So what happened was, they did their finagling scheme. They got some fresh corn shipped in, and they had it all up. And they're all looking forward for having buttered corn on the cob. Well, guess what the cook did? He took that fresh corn, cut it all off, made cream corn, which is what they had been having anyways. So took it on, and they wanted it on the cob still. So make sure, that your menus and stuff, include whatever. If you have fresh vegetables in a garden going, make sure you have stuff to include. Not corn with cobbed, but corn on the cob, because that in itself is sometimes a really big morale booster.
Right.
All right.
Go ahead, Gil.
I'm just reading the side chat here.
Right, because Albany's still having a problem processing canned cure meats. Yeah. It's not the nitrates, it's the way you cure the meat.
Yeah.
Okay, if you smoke it or put smoke flavoring and drying it, what are you doing to the meat? And I keep telling this to people because, well, I could can it, there's no nitrates in it. No, you smoked it. And what you do with raw meat and smoke, it's outside in a smoker. And then you put that in a jar, pressure cook it. You're playing with fire right there, folks. You don't know if it's contaminated, if it's not processed or smoked right. Those are the big headaches.
All right. Yeah. And you got to make, in canning, the whole thing about stuff being in a can, you want to make sure everything in there is sterile, which means if you just take the cured meat and you pack it in there and you dry pack it, you could have problems.
Oh,
yeah.
If you meat properly packed in a canner, most meats that I've ever dealt with, and mind you, my mom did it when I was a little kid. We canned everything from rabbit to cow to chicken to whatever, including pigeon and pheasant. If it's canned in a juice properly, it will be okay. But again, it's got to be done properly. So if you're going to can meats, check out Ball's Canning Cookbook. There's, I can't remember how many. There's more than a dozen different books out there that will tell you which way to do it. And like I said, if you check out Mouse Toes, she cans meats. She cans chicken, she cans hamburger, she cooks it with it and eats it right there on camera. So you know what she's doing. Hey, Swafford. So you see what she's doing. You know it does work.
And here's one of the points here brought up by Tina. Once you process the meat, it changes its density. So if you go to cook it or pressure can it, thinking it's only got to be 15 minutes, when in reality you may have to do it a half hour in the canner to get it to reach the proper temperature inside. All right. Hey, where was that? Okay. The Swafford Homestead is in the house. They just changed their channel name, and they are doing a 500 subscriber giveaway. So guys, check them out. Help them get to 600.
Oh, Tina.
All right. So let's go on from the I think we've kind of beat the menu idea. So everybody gets the idea of it. You need to have something to work with. And from that menu, you have your menu. Then you need to think that from.
He can't speak, folks. It's okay.
That way, there we go. Got it fixed. Once you have your menu, then you work on your food storage. And you want to make sure your menu is complete that has everything on it, such as, I need taco seasoning, I need garlic, I need whatever you need for it. Make sure you have that into your food storage. So let me go to this next tab here.
Okay, while you're switching tabs, Kalen, I'm going to put a stop to that channel you just posted. 90% of what that channel does is clickbait. Over half of what they do is bullpucky. Half of what they talk about in their live streams is bullpucky. I've done research. I used to follow his channel. I used to support him a lot until I caught him in one of many different lies. So I don't recommend anybody subscribe to that channel as a means to learn things.
Entertainment.
That's about it. Because he went from being somebody who actually spoke the truth to somebody who likes spewing lies every now and again just to get video clickbaits.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that used to follow him quite well have also pulled away from him. Yep. He may have a lot of subscribers, but he spreads a lot of fear porn now. And I'm not into that. No, it's okay, Kalen. I'm just saying I don't recommend that channel anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I started, someone's recommended me. I went over here, I watched 3 videos. The third video is like, what the? And so I just unsubscribed.
Yeah, just go watch Dave's channel. It's a lot better.
Okay. So this part of the spreadsheet here is actually what we have down in the basement here. And so basically what we have here is we got, the different types of baked beans, and I actually broke it up. There's some blank ones in here because I haven't put brands in there yet, because we're looking at, when we get a different brand, I want to be able to like put it in there, have everything ready to go. And
because you'll get past it and then I'll forget. Albany Mountain, there is a way to not necessarily can butter, but there's a way to preserve it, and it turns into what is called ghee. Prepsteaders, she is very knowledgeable. I would go check out her channel. She has videos on how to make ghee, pemmican, hardtack, all the survival foods you could ever want. And that's the best way to preserve butter, is in the form of ghee.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Gil.
That's okay. Perfect. And welcome, Audra, homesteading in Idaho. And also, Anthony's not in here yet, but Anthony at Palmetto Prepared talks about cooking with ghee and also with the powdered butter as well. All right. So what I have here set up here to help track what we have downstairs, I have the size of the cans, because you'll notice here for Bush's Original Baked Beans, we got the 15-ounce size can and the 28-ounce can, and how many of we have them here. And then everything that's in the brown here, I got it so it totals up the total number of cans here. And so like then we get down to beans that are non-flavored. You got your black beans, your Great Northern, your kidney, and then refried beans, both from Food Club and Rosarita. And then the total of those beans is like 202 cans. And then we have.
You do realize you have one of those beans that go rancid inside the can pretty quick, correctly?
Huh?
You do realize that you have on your list one of those beans that goes rancid inside the can pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. And we go through them.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you use them faster than the expiration date.
Yeah. And then you got your different types of chilling beans. And we have the total number of chilling beans here, and pork and beans. So, yeah. So right now, just looking at beans, I got 250 cans of beans downstairs. All right, and then there's pasta sauces, and we got all sorts of all the different types of pasta sauces: Bratelli, Classico, Del Monte, Deseret, Hunt's, Prego, and all in the different size jars and stuff of it. And so we got a total right now of 100 jars / cans of pasta sauce. Now I know I made note over here whether it's a jar. It has jar. If it doesn't have any notation on it, it's the can. And so you got tomato sauce, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, fruit cocktail, pear halves, peach halves, applesauce.
Gil.
Yeah.
Tip Top Farm had a question, which I know you can answer.
Tip top. Okay. Yes. I will send you this sheet. All you need to do, look at your screen down below on the left-hand side, just below Uncle Al. You scroll down a little bit, and it says, let me go over the screen so I can tell you exactly what it says. It says, welcome to Camp, blah, 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 blah. And then you keep on scrolling down there. And if it says show more, click on show more. And the last line is contact us at camppattonfamilycompound@gmail.com, and I will email you a copy of the spreadsheet back. Of course, you'll have to go through and delete out some of the stuff you don't have that I have, and add in what you have. Now, if you need to add a row, if you're not used to spreadsheets, you just click on a row like, let me see here. If I can get here. Click on a row, and then you right click. Of course, it's grayed out here because I got it locked here. And there's a right about here. It says insert, and it'll insert a row. And if you do it like in the middle here, it will add the formula here for the counting the number of cans will expand as well. Don't go to the bottom and try to do it. Don't go to the bottom and try to add a row. Go up and just insert a row and do it that way. Okay, so as you see, I go down here. I got beef stews. I haven't finished adding all the calculating numbers in here, but they're simple. Let's see if I can put it on one of these. If you click on it, it shows it's the sum bar, and it sums the ones in the green column. It's going to show it. See how I double clicked it, and it shows the area it's summing. So yeah, it's very easy. Using the sum feature, you go up to where it says formulas and auto sum. Let's go back over here. Okay. And so that's just what I've gotten so far from what's down. This does not include the stuff we have down in the basement for the pets. It doesn't include the non-food items like the baggies, the cleaners, the hand sanitizer, and the other stuff. This is just food stuff on this one here. Now, one of the things let me go to the next tab here. Short-term dry. Talked about the wheat flour because it's short-term because when you crack it, it releases the oil, which starts to go rancid. Yeast is short-term, but we got the bricks. We got 8 bricks, 1 pound bricks in the freezer. It'll last 5-6 years that way.
Remember, folks, yeast is a live component. So if you freeze it properly, it'll last 5 years. If it's in a refrigerator,
If all the refrigerator does is once you open it, it extends the shelf life by double if it were sitting outside in the cupboard.
Well, I was going to ask him that and another question there, Kalen.
What's up? What she asked? The coffee?
Yeah. Do you got coffee on your list?
No, I don't drink coffee. Don't drink tea.
He doesn't.
I do drink warm cocoa, and I drink hot apple cider and let it cool down a little bit.
Hot apple cider? That's a new one on me.
Yeah, that's my tongue going crazy on me here.
You also don't have canned bacon on there.
No, I don't have canned bacon on here, but what I do have.
You've probably got 25 cans of canned water or canned air in there, though.
No, I got canned water. Actually, I got canned air over here. But what I don't have in here is what's in my storage up here. That is for me only. And I do have from Costco, the pre-cooked bags of bacon, which have an 18-month shelf life on them. So that's short term.
Hey, Ryder Dust. Question.
Hey, Ryder.
Yes, for a year.
And so let's see here. But when it's talking about everything, jumped to real quick. I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Right there.
Okay. Yeah. So the coffee, I do not drink coffee or do it, but I have cousins that do drink it and store it and freeze it. Freeze the whole beans. They freeze the processed beans, and they even freeze the instant coffee.
And one way to keep some, well, even though Gil doesn't drink it, you catch his drift. He's got some put back for others who may join him at some point in time for a visit or whatever. He does have something put back. I drink a lot of coffee myself, but I also have the little 1-cup instant packets from like Mr. Coffee or whatever brand they are, Folgers, I guess. I have some of those. So if somebody comes over and grid down, whatever, and they want a cup of coffee, they ain't touching my coffee, but I'll let them have 1 or 2 packets of those.
Yeah.
So always have something that you are willing to sacrifice for somebody else.
Yeah. One of the things that I mentioned there, well, first, before I go on to that, the yeast I have frozen up here is it's on the short term, but it's out in one of the freezers, but I didn't put it in there because I kept it on the short term list here. That's it. The package, the foil package, it comes in all vacuum sealed and stuff, straight into the freezer. Now, what I do have is, since I don't have coffee, but I got the packets of the hot apple cider, and I also got the packets of the Swiss Miss chocolate. So what I would say, what's the term? Asterisk up in the corner about the Swiss Miss is it has powdered milk in it. It stores not as long as if I got the stuff which is without the powdered milk that you actually add to hot milk.
Cocoa.
Yeah. So that stores a little bit longer.
Folks, if you freeze cocoa, powdered cocoa, real cocoa, it's very expensive. It's not the stuff you go at the store and it says cocoa, but if you read it, it doesn't say cocoa main ingredient. All it says is cocoa flour and a list of chemicals you don't want to find out why. That's usually used for baking. The one you want, it's in a little can, Ghirardelli's. This will last you 5 years if you store it properly. Yeah. Because it's pure cocoa powder. Do not put like helping tablespoons or teaspoons in it. You use a small amount, add sugar and milk, because if you put in like a couple of tablespoons, like my nephews found out, they're bouncing off the wall.
Yep. Okay, so how long for canned coffee on the shelf? I'm not sure. It should have an expiration or a best use by date on the bottom of it.
If you keep it in this cold, dark area, which I have 2 different types of coffee I have stored in a very cool area. I have a bag that is called Bastille. I probably should go get it so I can get the right name of it, but it's already freeze dried, vacuum sealed, and it will last 5 years sitting on a store shelf, not in a cool, dry area, which means it will last longer. Regular coffee cans, which is ground differently than this other stuff, will last probably, if it's kept in a cool, dark area, for a year past its expiration date, and you'll still get a little kick out of the caffeine that's in it. And while you go ahead, I will go get that other stuff.
Okay.
Well, one of the things on the coffee, while I don't have any up here, my wife, because she has some good friends down there in California, she has a 1-pound bag that somebody gave her of very expensive gourmet coffee beans, vacuum sealed in the freezer for emergency for special guests.
Right. Gil Ryder just has a question on the freezer unit.
Okay, I live in an apartment. If I get a freezer, do I have to put it into a special outlet? Basically, what that means is, so long as it's that circuit that it is on can handle it and whatever else is on it, you should be fine. The one thing I would recommend to do is to pick up a I hate using this term because it's not what they are. But the industry is calling themselves solar generators. They're not generators. They're battery packs with a built-in inverter. Pick up one that can, find out how many amps, watts your freezer uses, and then get a solar generator that will handle that. Now, the solar generators do not have to be plugged into solar panels. You can actually they come with the wall plug charger where you plug it in, you leave it plugged in until you need it. And the power goes out, you take it over to the freezer, and you wait an hour or two, plug it in, let it run for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, one cycle. Once it shuts off, unplug it and let it sit for several hours before you plug it in again. All right. Oh, and with that, let me see if I can find it here real quick here. Give me 1 second here. Minute Man PRE Prep. Minuteman Prep. Boom, boom. And okay. So Minuteman Prep is a YouTube channel. This is Ben. Ben's a good friend of mine. He lives about a mile from me here in Idaho, and he reviews all the solar generators. And he talks about how to do it, and he has this comparison chart. And this is the he put out one. Let me go to his channel so I can pull you up the one he just did. This one here, third video back. Top 8 solar generator comparison chart, updated recently. So these are the top 8 best solar generators to get. And he talks about their price and everything else on it. All right. Hey, our cabin in the woods.
Hey, Fish.
And also Sheila.
Hey, Carol, Fishes and Loaves Life. Sheila Smith. Anybody else just snuck in here on us? All right. So, yeah. So, guys, check out Minuteman Prep. And if you want to know about solar generators, Ben does this. He has got about 50 different types of solar generators that he's gone over the years and done stuff on. So let me go ahead and take that down. And
working.
Okay, go put it back up there, Dave.
This, excuse me, is espresso ground, which means you need a quarter of your normal ration of coffee to make a cup. This will last a long time. It also lasts 5 years, like this.
Yeah. So that puts it on the short end of the long-term storage.
Yeah, and it's also cheap.
And you put it in the freezer, it lasts longer, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't have very big freezer.
Yeah.
I have a closet in my bedroom. That bedroom stays at 62 degrees year round. Should be cool enough.
Right. And it works good with this kind of pot too.
Yes. That I do know. I was quartermaster for the about Scout Camp. I didn't drink the coffee, but I had to fix it for everybody, and I got taught how to make good coffee. All right. Going to the next tab here, we have long term, and this is some of what we have here. White rice in 3 different sizes: 5-gallon bucket, 75 pounds, a 50-pound bag, and 25-pound bags. We have rolled oats in 25-pound bags. We got wheat in 5-gallon buckets, 70 pounds. And then I got another out in the cargo container. I have another 8 50-pound bags of wheat. Got pinto beans in 25-pound and 10-pound bags as well. See, I track everything we got where it is. Now I started to do we have 3 chest freezers and 1 upright freezer in the garage. I started to track them. And just as I went out there and I started writing all my list on my paper, my daughter brings home 650 pounds of beef.
Well, she said she's gonna freeze pack that with some dry ice and ship half of that here. So your freezer should be cleared out pretty soon.
So basically, everything got shuffled around, so my list got thrown out. And when I go across the street here in 2 weeks, and I start using, and I got the freezers that Brandon's leaving for me over there. Yeah, we're going to start separating stuff out, and I'll be able to get this actually filled out the way it's supposed to be with what we have in there. I do know we have, like grated cheese. From Costco, we get it in the 2.5 pound bags. The grated cheese from Sam's Club's in the 5 pound bags. Sliced cheese from Costco, the good Tillamook. Oh yes, that's good. 2 pound bag of the sliced cheese, and we got the cooked meatballs. That's the only stuff I can remember that in the one freezer. And then we got like 30. We got 2 pound. The hamburger they got is in 2 pound packages from the butcher. Got 30 in the one freezer. Got 15 in another freezer. And I started what's on the upright. So that's what's on here. Now some other bonus stuff I got on here. Wants and needs. Fill us out. Stuff for what you want. Now I got to take the generator off here because I got the generator. If you saw my video, I got it. We have 3 chest freezers now, so that comes off. But we're always looking for more canning jars. Now these are the needs. This is the wants. Now I want. Notice here I got a CCTV. There we go.
I told you which one to get.
Yes, I know, and I got it on my wish list on Amazon. And then I got a Ruger Precision rifle, chambered for .243 Winchester, crossbow, high-powered air rifle.
And I've been looking at some of those. And
now I got to add that one that you just showed me today. That's a air-powered or CO2-powered rifle that shoots.
There's the name of it.
Arrows.
There's the name of it. In private.
Yeah.
That way you can look it up.
Yeah, the Air Max Javelin. Actually, I can bring it up because I still got the thing here, but I'm not going to go into that right now because we're running on time here now. All right, so basically we're hitting the 1 hour mark, so I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep going. Those of you that wanted to go over to Pete's little homestead, Pete's got coming on here in 3 minutes. But I'm going to keep going probably for a little bit while longer, explaining more of what I got on my spreadsheet here. And we're going to talk more about how to pull from these different things to make sure you're using your food right.
Right or dust. Go to my YouTube channel and look up Securo, SEQURO security system. I have several different videos on the 2 of their systems, and pick the one that fits your needs best.
Yeah. All right. So on the wants and needs here, that's what you fill out as your future shopping list. Now, along with that, I have another tab on here that says jobs to get done. That's stuff I got to do around the property here as things go. Like today, I was spreading more rock on the driveway out where as the snow melted, was making a puddle out there. So I was spreading rock today.
Hey, there's one thing you're missing.
What?
You need it for this year yet. Your ice rink. Get on the ball. You got grandkids there. They got to have an ice rink, man.
They're not big. They got a couple more years before they're on ice rink. And the one has just learned to stand for 30 seconds. He stands there for 30 seconds, and then he goes to take a step and falls down.
So put him in a sled.
Anyways, okay. Skills. I got a skills list here, and I think whatever skills you need. And on my one video, I covered like 30 different types of skills. Actually, no, the one live we did, I was looking at it last year. We got up to like 62 skills that people suggested from the side chat. Mm-hmm. It was a live stream, and I just listed. I was typing them in a spreadsheet like this. No, it was a PowerPoint. I was typing into the PowerPoint as went along. Everything from farrier, blacksmithing, plumbing, butchering, animal husbandry, hunting, fishing, trapping, whatever skill you need.
Because hunting and fishing will do you absolutely no good if you don't have somebody that knows how to process that food.
Yes.
You can hunt till you're blue in the face and bag 200 deer, but if you can't clean it and dress it, you just wasted it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Since it's in the chat, I'm going to mention for the two youngest ones, we have one of those little four-wheeled wagon, plastic play school wagons, and yeah, my son-in-law puts two of the boys in, and he'll drive them around the yard and whatever, and they have fun. All right, one here that's on here. I'm going to talk about it real quick here. Ham radio. If you want to know how important ham radio is, I'm not going to talk about it here long. I'm just tell you, go to Corsair Trainers. That's Steve's channel, and it's Corsair, Trainers. All right, it's popping up. That's the name of the channel. And on the this morning on Fridays, he does what's called radio check, and it's just the Monday is called the Island of Misfit Toys, and Friday's called radio check. And he spent a good portion, and him and other people on there talking about ham radios and how easy it is to get your license. And there were several of us on there that have ham radios licenses. So, yeah.
Now, mind you, in a grid down situation, not having a license means absolutely nothing. Also, in an emergency situation, you do not have to have a license to operate that radio in an actual emergency.
Yeah.
So have the radio in your hands in the first place, learn how to program it and turn it on and just listen to the chatter in your area. There are always comms going certain days of the week in your area, and it doesn't matter where you live.
Yeah.
So find your local ham group. Tell them you just want to listen in so you can get a feel for the language and then start studying for your test. So if we never lose the grid, you'll always have an emergency communications platform.
Yeah. And guys, it's called Saturn, which is the Salvation Army's radio group. They do classes for free, and they're good classes.
Unless you're in California.
Actually, they do it for free in California.
Not for long.
Nope, because the governor's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, the governor's been told to go pound rocks by the FCC and Department of Homeland Security, and every city that has a CERT program that relies on it told him to go pound rocks, because 99% of the repeaters that are closed down are privately owned, and he can't touch it.
That was last year. This is a new year with new executive office, and it's controlled by one party, and it's radical. Yeah. So all that fun stuff that we're used to, like I said in my last video that I did the other day, bye-bye.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is skills you can get. You can fill in your own skills. All right. Next tab here is a task timeline tracker. This one has a good bit of formulas in it and stuff. If you go to use this and you can't figure out how to use it, email me back and we can do a private stream like this that doesn't go on YouTube. It's private, and I can walk you through it and stuff. But this is how you plan out for getting things done, including adding to your food storage, freeze, also stuff like freeze drying classes. You got phase 1, phase 2, 4 phases of getting prepped. And anyway, so this is one thing that's really good.
I want to bring something up.
Yeah.
Because it was brought up in chat, not because we already talked about it, touched. And you may actually get to it later, but Homesteading in Idaho said that her son loves her. Hey, Kathy. Loves his air-powered rifle.
Yes.
There is an option. I just ran across it today in perusing other options. There is a option. It is called, excuse me, Hatsan Bullpup. I forget the exact model, but it's a QE, which means it's a quiet edition. It's silenced. You can buy it in a prepackaged deal. It's not cheap. It's about $750. You get the air rifle. It's a PCP, pressurized canister type rifle, and it comes with a pump. Now it only pumps up to 200 millibars your bar, which is like 2,900 psi, just for reference.
That still hurts.
Oh well, these pellets, it comes in 117, or 177, 22, and 25 caliber. Now, with this hand pump, now it's going to take a minute, but you don't need electricity. You can use the hand pump and pump it up full. Now, other air rifles in the PCP range, you pretty much need a electric pump. But this one, in all three calibers, you can pump it up to max. You get about between 30 and 25 solid shots in each caliber at full power. And it is capable of hunting with it. So for those who have enough of a budget where they can spring for or save up $750, hit me up later and I'll get you a link to the website. Actually, I'll do that. Gil can post it. So,
okay. Now I'm going to post right now in the chat here the one that you sent me earlier tonight.
And that is a airbow.
It's an airbow.
And it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. And guys, I'm going to show it just for a second so I don't get dinged. So give me a second here to bring it over here.
No, you won't, because it's not a firearm.
No, they don't. Yeah, but the thing is, okay, that's it. And it shoots arrows. Okay. But I wanted to show it just for quickly, but that's the link to this. It's on 169. So
and it's nice. I probably will blow my fund budget for next month, my allowance, so to speak, for that, because of its price point and its ease of use. And the canisters, while not exactly cheap, $12 to $16 a piece for the CO2 canisters, or 88 cc's, that you can get 35 to 40 shots, for arrow shots at full range power off of one canister. Yeah. So, I mean, it is definitely an option for quiet
hunting.
Yeah. And I just posted in private a link to the other rifle.
Okay. So there we go. So let me get this here. Copy that. Go back to comments. And here is the second link that Dave was talking about. There it goes.
Yeah. Hatsan Flash Pup.
All right. So, and yeah. All right, let's go back over here and we're going to go to the next, is it the final tab? No, it can't be the final tab. Come on. Yeah, final tab. This is the one I put in here from my 30-day survival video I did 2 months ago. And so it lists what the prices were for different things. If you want to do a 30-day survival pantry, like I said, this is 30-day survival pantry, not, oh, yummy, 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 we're going to have steak for dinner. No. All right. So this is, it talks about, and it's two different variants of it and the prices. And then also talks about the Reliance Aquitainer 7-gallon things. What's interesting about this is, I'm not sure where all you can find it, but if you can find a water cube at small retail stores and stuff, generally it's $6 for a 5-gallon one, so it's cheaper.
I'll answer that, Kathy. Yes, we have.
Have you missed my linking? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh. But yeah, so the water cube, and I'm going to be doing a video showing them, showing those here in a little bit when I get over across the street in 2 weeks. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's what's on here. So, guys, if you guys want this spreadsheet, email me down below, and I will just send it to you filled out the way it is. And then you can, like, if you go back to the, like this section here, if you don't have Winco in your area, you have some other cheap store brand, you can just, change the names on it. You can go in and just change stuff. This gives you an idea of starting with different things. The one thing I don't have on any of the stuff here yet, and I got to go through it, is all the boxes and boxes and boxes of hamburger helper, tuna helper, and other stuff my daughter has gotten. And then like we have the big, we got the cases of macaroni, elbow macaroni, and we got cases of spaghetti and egg, white egg noodles and stuff. I haven't put that on here at all yet. So, but that's stuff all that you can add into. That would go under dry stuff, because the packets for the hamburger helper and stuff aren't made to go more than 2 years.
Hey, Dutch, I'm not sure about Holland's laws, but those are not considered firearms. Now, I know Germany has some pretty stiff rules and regulations. The arrow gun is not considered a firearm of any sort in many countries because the arrow slips over top of a tube. It is not propelled by a string, and it's not shot out of a barrel. Although there is a shroud around it, it is actually over top of the barrel. So it is not considered as a weapon of mass destruction. Therefore, in places like Germany, which have extremely strict laws, you can't even have a locking pocket knife there. It cannot lock. So I would assume, not having went through all of those rules over there, I would assume the air one, the low-powered one with CO2 canisters, would be acceptable over there. Now, getting the higher pressured ones, the ones that run off PCP, no, not the drug, those might be a bigger issue, but I think the arrow rifles for that PCP style would also be acceptable. The pellet guns and stuff like that would probably be more of an issue.
Yeah.
Right. Like Japan and South Korea, that's where a lot of these guns come from. It has a certain, Dave, you know what I'm talking about, pressure range that they have to follow because of their laws.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one by Air Force Corporation that has the air rifles that go up to the 357 caliber would not be allowed over there because of the size.
The 50 cal and all that.
Yeah.
You're also talking for the 50 cal
and then
version.
there it is. Kathy put Air Force rifles in there.
Yep. The 50 cal is also around $3,000. You do have to have an electric pump to pump that up because it goes to 400 bars. Okay, 400 bars is well over 5,000 psi.
Yeah,
you're not going to hand pump that.
Air Force builds a hand pump for it, a three-stage hand pump to be able to hand pump it. But you're gonna be
no, those hand pumps will not go to max. They'll only go to 300 bar. Okay. I've done a lot of checking the last 48 hours.
Okay, cool.
And the one that can go to 300 bars usually takes about 250 repetitious pumps. Yeah. Okay. After about 25 pumps, you're going to start being tired because those pumps are not easy. By the time you get close to 300 bars, you're going to need 3 people to push down on top of that to get it to compress. So I would recommend, if you're going to get into PCP stuff, and I'm going to try and finagle some kind of sponsorship deal with one, try to get my hands on one so I can actually do a decent review and give you options and ideas. I don't know how it's going to work yet, but I'm close to that 1,000 sub mark. Excuse me. So I might actually be able to get something going.
Yeah. And just a quick thing to everybody that's in here. If a channel you support and you like, and if it plays a commercial at the beginning, go ahead and watch the commercial, or just let it play and go do something else and come back and watch the video again after the commercials are all done, because that helps out the channels to be able to get stuff for the channels.
Okay, now, I want to answer Kathy real quick.
Okay.
Kathy, for you personally, knowing your background kind of like I do, knowing how outdoorsy you are, I would say for you, I would go with the arrow rifle for now until you get used to that type of pneumatic system. And when finances can afford it, pick up a air pistol, a PCP pistol. Okay, those can be had for around $150. They go on 117 and 22. You'd get the 22 version. Put a cheap little red dot on the top and go to town. You get 25, 30 shots per fill. You can hand pump those up. Those take about 50, 60 pumps. So you're not going to do it quickly, but you'll get it done. And you don't need a backup power supply or power source. You can do those by hand. That way, even in a complete grid down situation, you'll have at least a 22 caliber piece of lead you can throw down range.
Yeah. Now, I know with certain air pistols and stuff that you can get the it takes off the pistol grip and puts on a grip that actually goes back to the shoulder, so you can actually use it like on it. Mm-hmm. So you check to see if one of those have if that pistol you get will take one of those aftermarket attachments. Courtney, I don't think any of us feel bad about eliminating rats.
Which kind of rat? You've got fur rats that climb trees. You got little mealy mouth rats that burrow into your attic. Then you got really tiny rats that invade your food storage. And then you got regular rats.
And then you got the one that just became. Oh no, I'm not going to go there. We're not going to talk
politics. We don't have time, folks.
Yeah.
Can I run by the books real quick?
Yeah, go ahead and run some books by us, Al.
Okay. This one's a good one. And it does cover the cube. Mm-hmm. Please check it out. It's by Angela Passett, a Mormon. I do have the original cookbook for camping. That's a lot of Dutch oven cooking. And then this one is by Anita Angelista for low-cost family storage system if you're doing grains. And Gil knows this one. If you're Mormon and if you don't read this book, you got to get this book.
Yeah.
Barbara Salisbury.
And there's Kathy is slapping them up in the Amazon links.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right. So going back to the food storage stuff, let me pop this up here just for a second. So you got your beans and this type stuff, and then you got your pastas, and you got your then go over here all the way. So you got your meals that you've done, made up your meals of what you want to eat. Remember, if you're in a grid down situation and everything's gone it doesn't have to be for a long time. Even it's like a month, like happened down there in New Orleans for Katrina and Rita. You want to, if it's a short term and you know it's only going to be short term, a couple weeks and stuff, don't use the long term stuff. You start first with your immediate, and then you go to your short term items. So, and that's one of the things that I think all preppers are short on is water storage.
Nope, I'm good, thanks. And Fish and Loaves, I just posted on the Discord channel links to those two toys I was talking about.
Okay. Now, so when you're planning your meals out, you can use the stuff that is in your short-term supply. Make sure when you set up your supplies and stuff, like I show here the cans and stuff, all our cans are set up with the oldest stuff in front, the newest stuff in the back, so we eat the oldest stuff first. I have seen people where they've had me check out their food storage and stuff, and I pull a can from the front, I reach in the back, pull out a can in the back, and the can in the back is already 3 months past best use by date. It's like, you need to reverse this stuff. And so you want to be able to, in your short-term food storage, that stuff is what you rotate through your usage. You want to make sure you're rotating that constantly. your immediate stuff. Let me see if I can throw the other one back up here. Hang on, get the right.
Okay, while you're doing that,
There we go.
Courtney, that so-called 48-hour food supply, at best of times will last you 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does not have enough calories in it to last you. You know, that is sitting in a spider hole or hidey hole, whatever you want to call it, doing nothing and just surviving. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Audra threw up something. Watch Walmart. They often has clearance on their large canned items and survival cans. They got massive cans for $1 each on their clearance. Ooh, score. Hey, from Kate's Kitchen. How you doing, Kate? All right. So, your immediate use stuff, you're going to be going through this all the time. This is your, once again, guys, this is your pantry that you use constantly. This has stuff in it that's, you know, part of this, even though it's in the stuff you keep in the fridge, because it's, you know, milk, you know, butter, you know, other stuff that you need to go through, vegetables and stuff like that.
Albany,
yes.
Sorry, not to interrupt, Gil. Albany, I would keep check of your local Walmart, Sam's Club, and those blue 5 or 7 gallon jugs, whatever they are, go on sale from time to time for like $12 a piece. I would keep your white gallon jugs, keep them full, but I would switch those over to toilet water and get the blue jugs for actual potable drinking water.
Yeah.
That's what I do here. I've got quite a few of each. I have some strictly set aside for toilet, and that's it. Or a bath if necessary, you know, if I get really grubby and I want to clean up because, you know, I stink or whatever. But I have some that's strictly dedicated for drinking and cooking, and that's it. And I have some for everything else.
Along that lines, back when my parents were still alive, they had a double wide, 64-foot long mobile home. Underneath it, every time my mom would empty one of those plastic gallon jugs of milk, she'd rinse it out, fill up with water, and she'd have me and my brother crawl underneath the mobile home and put it in the stack underneath there. By the time she passed away, over half the space under that mobile home was stacked double high of old milk bottles, milk jugs full of water for flushing the toilet, doing laundry, doing that stuff. She even started doing the juice bottles, the Gatorade bottles, putting non-potable water in those as well. People, I've seen several channels say, "Oh yeah, you just fill it. You can reuse these. You rinse them out a couple times, and put a couple extra drops of bleach in it." No, because you're gonna have flavored water because those containers will still absorb the flavoring of the drink, whether it's apple juice, pineapple juice, Gatorade, whatever. They'll absorb the flavor into the plastic and leach it back out into the water.
Gil, please post the link I just put in private chat in there for them. That's water storage containers from Walmart. So it'll give you an idea of what to look for, and then you can find it locally.
Yeah. Wrong spot. Yeah. I put it back in the same spot.
But also, folks, be careful with certain milk containers because it's different in each state. Some state like California is the biodegradable milk container. It says it on the bottom, do not reuse this container. Because what happens if you fill it up with water, within 6 months, it goes,
yeah,
you have a big water spill. So imagine you have about half a dozen of these simultaneously self-destruct in your storage. Not a pretty sight.
Right. That's why, like for us, we stored it underneath the mobile home where nothing else was on the cement pad under there, just to keep it, out of the sun and away from everything else.
Plus, also know the fact, people, that when you store any container on cement, it will leach the chemicals, the lye, and everything out of the concrete itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So those anything stored on concrete like that is is instantly becomes a non-potable water.
Yep.
So on your so the store, you're not gonna go through your long-term stuff for a short-term emergency, because hey, that should still be being saved for the big one. The short-term, huh?
How big is it? Is it going to be really big?
Put it this way, it's going to be big enough where you may be out of a job for 6 months to a year, and you're going to be needing to go through that.
I'm set. I haven't had a job in 4 years.
No money coming in from disability either, or lottery, or anything else.
If a certain person gets her way, and I'm not going to mention her name, gets her way, there will be no disability payments for anybody.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, back away from politics.
I didn't say
for using pulling stuff from your food storage, your short term is a rotation food storage. You should be rotating it. It is basically, it's to be used. It's rotation, first in, first out. It's what you build up your short term is a big buffer zone, so you don't have to use your long term. You don't do it all at once. You just you go to buy stuff that's this is on sale. I'm going to buy 3 extra, put it into my storage. Or I'm going to buy, or it's like, it's a special with the venison's chili, which is usually $2.50 a can. It's 10 for $1. I'm going to buy 10 extra.
Right. And here's a simple story. My freezer is usually kept quite full, and for the last 2 months, because I wanted to rotate, so I decided to start using some of the stuff in my freezer. And as I use it, I replace it and rotate it. So by the end of next month, it'll be completely full again with probably close to 60 pounds of hamburger and 1 pound rolls, which probably don't taste the greatest. They're high fat content. But if I'm hungry, I'll have food.
Yeah.
Where people around me are going to go, you got any food? Nope, I ain't got no food. Nope. Go away.
Also, folks, when you do the short term, remember, check the serving sizes. I keep telling people this.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing the starvation series. If you look at the can, okay, got a can of corned beef. You look at the serving sizes and back, 2 ounces, 56 grams. How much is that, folks? Take a wild guess.
Right here. This is 2 ounces right here. This will hold 2 ounces of liquid.
Right. So you put 2 ounces of that of corned beef. That's your daily requirement. There's 6 servings in this can. What Dave showed you is true. So know what you're measuring.
Yeah. Audra has a good point here. If you have extra canning jars, that you're not using for till next year, or whenever you get one that's empty, you get several that are empty. Water bath them, fill them full of water bath them, and put them into storage. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Kate's talking about the same thing, doing the same thing on that. Mm-hmm. All right. So looking at this again, this is an example of a short term with some immediate usage stuff in there. You're not going to be keeping the powdered milk for more than 2 years. Just about everything in here, you should be rotating through in a 2-year time frame. The oats,
especially those spices up there, because those bulk spices up on the far right near the top, them bulk spices, the way they're packaged, they don't last for much more than 6 months, and they lose absolutely all their flavor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you open something like that in that big of a container, which is why I don't recommend stocking containers that size. Buy the little teeny ones that are right now on sale at my Walmart for 88 cents each, and stock lots of those. That way, when you open one, you've still got X number stored away that aren't open, that aren't going to go bad because they're opened.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm just trying to catch up here. I'm keeping up on the side chat here because there's a lot of useful information out there. All right, so Howie, Food Forest Permaculture is in the house. All right, so when you're doing your storage and stuff, one of the things I've seen people do is they'll do a printout of the spreadsheet, and what they'll do is they'll just count. They'll do each rack here, each movable shelf here on a tab, and they will just print that out. And as they take stuff off, they mark it off on a clipboard and a piece of paper and pen. Mark it all off, and then they know what they have to buy to replenish that. So here's a
good way to think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The best way to look at what you need to store, if you're going to go full bore, all out, I'm storing for my family, look at a small mom and pop restaurant's storage room. Okay, that's basically what you're looking at right there, is a mom and pop's restaurant's storeroom. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what that is, because the way it's designed, that may be somebody's private pantry, but a small mom and pop restaurant, and I'm talking a restaurant that seats like 60 people max, maybe 70, the old
Greasy Spoon,
right? The old trolley car style restaurants. And those of us that are older know what I'm talking about. You young folks probably don't. But they didn't have a whole lot of room. So they would have to stock in such a way that they would never run out of anything. And they rotated it constantly. But that's the kind of mentality you need if you're going to store long-term preps for more than 2 or 3 people. For me and Charles, I can store a third of what's on that shelf and be good for a year, provided it lasts that long.
Yeah. Now, something just popped up in the chat. The concern was from Kate. Kate was saying was worried about having enough lids for the canning jars to be able to actually can the water.
My store's got tons.
Yeah, I mean, ours has come out too. But something I picked up off of Amazon was replacement plastic screw-on lids for the wide mouth and the regular mouth jars. And it has a rubber seal inside. It's not made for canning, but if you fill it full of water, you put that on there, you're good for water storage.
And another quick tip for those who may not have heard me reiterate it in the past. If you're going to put water in any container, be it glass or plastic, fill it to the very tip top before you close it. Okay, that leaves the least amount of possible air in there, for one. 2, before you go to use it, you need to shake the living daylights out of it. Because what's going to happen, and I could actually go grab a bottle right now that I've had stored, and it is toilet water because it's an old juice bottle. But it's already dropped that much, almost a full 1.5 inches in the 8 months I've had it stored. It's never been opened, and I filled it full. What happens is the oxygen leaches out of the water itself, and it creates an air pocket at the top. Once I shake it, re-aerate the water, it'll actually look like I've added water to it when it hasn't actually been opened. So when you store water, before you go to use it, shake the daylights out of it so you re-aerate the water inside it.
Yeah, okay, let me go back here. I'm looking something up here real quick here, guys. See if I can find it here. I think it was back about here. Give me a second. Looking. Because if I can find it here real quick, I know I bought them last year, so I'm looking for them.
Okay, when it comes to water, what happens is water will taste stale without the air in it, and that it's really, there's nothing wrong with it. It just it's not aerated, which is why you shake it up. The water will taste stale. There's really nothing wrong with water. You can cook with it, you can bathe with it, you can drink it straight. It won't taste the greatest until you re-aerate it. Okay,
here they are. Okay. Open this up and move it over here. Okay, these are the lids I was talking about. They're plastic. They're made by Ball. They're not for canning, for water bath canning stuff. But if you're doing dry pack stuff, where you're not, doing. They were great for dry packing and just putting water in it. And you got get them in multiple colors too. Yeah, this was currently unavailable, but when I got it, let me go back. I paid $5.45 for an 8-pack just as an experiment on it. One of the other things I picked up, which for your canned goods, this fits on multiple size cans because it's got two different ring size on of, like, say you eat a can of pork and beans, but you're only empty half of it. I put it in the fridge for a day or two. You use one of these, snap on there, and it keeps it fresh while it's in the fridge. You don't want to keep stuff in open cans in the fridge longer than a week. But yeah, so that was that. Once again, for those who are interested, these shelves here are the same type I have down in the basement and out in my cargo container. And in California, I got about a bunch in California. Anyways, these were from Sam's Club. They come with the wheels on them, 6 shelves, and then there's a plastic liner sheet that goes over each shelf so stuff doesn't lose its balance on the wire shelves when you have smaller cans and jars on it. And it's under $100. I believe they were $89 per. So yeah, for us, it was a real good investment to get those to keep stuff organized.
Organization? What the hell's that? My stuff ain't organized. I just know what I have and where it is.
Yeah.
I'm organized. I write everything down.
It's all up here. That way, if somebody wants to come in and try and find a list of what I got, they'll never find it.
Yeah.
And to get it out of me, nah, they ain't going to get that out of me.
So, folks, for a short-term storage, the number one consideration, I know I've said this in different ways so far, but I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to harp on it here. Rotate, 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 first in, first out. So even at the stores, you ever watch them stocking at the stores, they're pulling stuff to the front, putting the new stuff behind, so they don't get stuck with old expired cans on the shelf. Same thing here for your food storage. And oh, cool! Kate made a killer. Every now and then they do come on sale, and she got them at Costco for $79. Now the ones I usually get at Costco don't have the plastic liner on them. They don't come with the plastic liner, shelf liner that goes on top. If I had one up here, I have a loose one down in the basement. If I thought about it, I would have brought it up here to show it. Basically, it's a thin piece of plastic, flexible, and it just rolls out, lays out on top of the shelf, and just keeps smaller items from tipping over and everything, and anything falling through.
Now, there's another option. If you get those shelves and they do not have liners, a cheaper alternative would be what they call toolbox liners. They're rubberized. They come in different thicknesses and styles. You get the solid ones. Don't get the ones with little bitty holes in it unless you're going to put them on something like potatoes or onions on top of it. Then you want the ones with holes because you don't want to put onions and potatoes and stuff like that is in bags on any kind of plastic or rubber. They will start to go bad really fast.
Yeah.
And I learned that from being in restaurants.
All right. Night, Dutch.
Night, Dutch.
All right. Let's see. I know someone else just came in here. Who was it? Scrolling back here, trying to find it. They snuck in here. The chat was flying, but anyone that just came in didn't say anything. Hi, how you doing? You want to make sure when we don't make sure we say hi to everybody. Oh, good point. Earthquake proof shelves is possible. Now, one of the things that we've done for our canning jars and stuff, we try to keep them in the original boxes that the jars came in. But sometimes we get gifted a bunch of jars and stuff. And what we do is the boxes you get from Costco or Sam's Club, I'll take those and I'll cut those off so they're at least a third as tall as the jar is, so you can still pull the jars out off the shelves, but that keeps them from, bouncing around. And you can also take the extra cardboard and cut it to make the lattice work that, most of the canning jar things have to keep the jars from banging against each other. The other thing here on shelves like this, like with the up here where you got the big cans and stuff, these big number 10 cans and the cases of tuna and stuff, bungee cords from Harbor Freight. You can go get a big pack of bungee cords and they will hook. You can hook them, you can run them either vertically or horizontally across the shelves to keep stuff on the shelves.
I would do it both ways and interlock them and lattice them together as well.
Yeah.
Give yourself a double extra strength. 2 cords going sideways and about 8 cords going top to bottom.
Yeah.
And lattice them together.
Yeah. And if you really want to, so these are 4 foot wide. If you check on Amazon, you can find the cargo nets that are made for 4 foot by 5 foot, and just stretch it on there. And it has you hook it and you stretch it down and hook the sides. And you need to get some out, you just quickly pop the hooks off and pull it off to the side, pull it out, and hook it back.
Yep.
Yeah. And oh yes. Very good, Kate. Cardboard lattices from liquor boxes work very well.
Yep.
And Audra says if you can't put a rail on your shelf, you can put a tension tie down. Yeah. Oh yeah, the tie down straps, the tension straps. Yeah, the ratchet ones, or the ones that just pull and just lock.
That's also the ratchet straps is a good way to keep the shelves together, to keep the shelves from moving around as much.
Yeah.
When like those are right now, those 5, 6 shelves that they got sitting there. Right now, if an earthquake happened, each one of those shelves is going to move independently, which is going to increase the chance of having a catastrophic failover. Now, you take tie straps, the ratchet straps, like the yellow ones you get at Harbor Freight for like $5 for a pack of 4, whatever it is, and if you interlink them with all your shelves, you can keep that as one solid unit, and there's less chance of having it roll over.
Right, and make sure you put an anchor unit on one of these shelves against the wall, anchor it. You do with screws and a little, you know what I'm talking about, Dave. And then you put it against the wall, and then you ratchet everything else to that, so it doesn't do like this all over the place.
Yeah. So what you can do is, like Dave was saying, like on the middle of it here, if you run the ratchet around, one of the straps all the way across to keep those 3 there tight together, and then you can run put some eye hooks into the studs behind up above, between where the posts are.
I would not go to the walls. Having never lived in an earthquake area, but having seen the devastation thereof, I would actually anchor bolt them to the floor, into the floor joists. Yeah. It'll give you a more stable platform. It'll be less likely for it to move as much as your wall will.
Yeah.
During an earthquake.
Yeah. The thing is, so the reason why I've having been through several 6.4, 7s and stuff earthquakes, we found that if you don't attach it to the wall, it'll wobble a little bit, and the wall will wobble, and if they get out of sequence and they hit, bam, everything just comes flying off the shelves.
Well, that's why you lattice the front and sides and back and anchor to the floor.
But if you
don't wiggle so much.
Yeah. But if you have it,
it's going to look like a drunken sailor no matter what. I mean, all we're trying to do is limit it.
Yeah, but if you test the top to it, it's going to move less. We found out.
Well, see, like I said, I ain't been through none. I've just seen the devastation, and I see less floor movement on the top.
I'm sorry, there's a joke in the side chat. I got to put it up here. I'm not going to say it, but you guys can read it. Okay, I'm sorry. That just tickled my funny bone. Now, one of the type shelves that actually I got a set, and my daughter has a set. They're not on the wheels. They're how to describe them? They have them at Sam's. They have them at Costco. They have them at Lowe's. They have them at Home Depot.
And Walmart.
I'm not sure they have them at Walmart. They may have the smaller versions. What I'm talking about is their black metal framework, and it's a 5-shelf unit. However, the middle shelf has to go dead center in the middle because it has 2 pins on it. One locks into the bottom leg, one locks into the top leg. And they come with like 3/8 particle board, which is not good for storing heavy stuff on. What I did with the ones, I went and got a piece of 3/4 inch particle board and just added one and cut, had a full sheet, 4 foot by 8 foot sheet, and just made 4 more shelves and just put it on there and really gave it extra strength. And so
it drops.
That's a lot cheap. Those are cheaper than buying the sheet of particle board are cheaper than one of these. But like I said, it only has 5 shelves. It's just as wide, but it is 2 feet deep rather than 16 inches.
Okay, and another option too, that's far cheaper for somebody like me. If you're not putting excessive weight on them, you can buy the plastic shelves too from Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart. The plastic shelves are great for like your spices and stuff that don't weigh a lot, your coffee cans, freeze-dried foods, pasta, powdered potatoes, stuff like that. The lightweight stuff you can put on the plastic shelves.
Yeah.
So you can save a little bit of shelving money there, and you can stack a lot more plastic shelves next to each other compared to these metal shelves.
Right. And like if you for the top shelves, you can put your paper towels, your toilet paper, your Kleenex on the very top because that stuff's really light. Now those plastic shelves, they have little feet on them. But if you don't put the feet in, and set the bottom shelf straight on the floor, it still lifts it off the floor like 2 inches off the floor in case there's any water flooding. It won't get to the cans. So you can put the bottom shelves on the floor and put your heavy stuff on that bottom shelf. It's not going to sag if it's sitting on the floor because the way it's built, the entire shelf, the ribs and stuff are all touching. And so that works that way too as well. Hey, Mrs. Mel. Hey, Mrs. Mel. And so, there's a lot of things you can do, but with your getting into your food storage, and actually on your short-term stuff, you should be developing your short-term storage to be with those menu items. We talked about in the beginning about having 30 dinner menu, at least 30 dinner menus done up, 30 lunch menus, 15 breakfast menus, and have it set up so you can do it. After a while, you'll turn that 30 menu system into a 60 menu system.
Right or dust. Walmart's got them, Lowe's has got them, Home Depot. Just go to any one of those 3 and type in toolbox liner, and you'll see the different styles. There's some that looks like it's lattice work. That's great if you've got stuff that needs aeration, like your onions and potatoes. And they have solid stuff, ranging from really thin to a relatively thick style. And, those work great.
Yeah. Hey, Paragon Ridge Ranch. Yeah. And also one thing too, if depending on how you stack your shelves, if you notice the one here on the left here goes beyond the others. If you tie the back together, like take a ratchet thing, start time, and just start wrapping it around it and secure it. You can do it that way. One of the things I've done with the ones in California, right here where you got these number 10 cans, and the one here with the Quaker oatmeal, these shelves are at the same height. You get a 1/4 inch bolt about 2 inches long, and you get 2 1/4 inch fender washers. So the washer is about that big with a 1/4 inch hole in it. You take it, put the one washer on, run it through over here. If you look where the mouse cursor is moving slowly, you run it through this shelving unit into that one, put another fender washer on and a bolt, and you just bolt the suckers together. And you do that same way here with the 2 inch things. You can bolt these together so that they aren't going to move at all. I totally forgot about that. Brain dead.
That's all right. Now, it's almost 2 hours we've been talking about this.
Yeah. One of the things I also did with the one I have all the Christmas stuff on in California, what I did was I took 2 of these shelf units, took 2 of the shelves out, so you had 4 shelves on each of them, spread them apart, and put a shelf between it. So you have the one shelf like this. Let me do it this way here. So here are your 4 posts, right? And you spread it apart, so you have shelves here, and you join it together with shelves here, and then shelves over here.
Here's another option.
So you make it 12 foot long out of 2 4-foot sections.
Here's another option. That for the people who are DIYers in their own garage and do their own work, most people who do work on their own cars probably have half a dozen or more of these just laying around. Muffler exhaust clamps work great on bracketing those together.
Yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of ways to mechanically secure these and to make them one big unit, so they're stronger. And when you have a couple anglings coming off the side here on it, it's going to make it that much stronger. Okay, hang on. What is Audra saying here? If you store in solid plastic containers, try to rotate the squash, potatoes, onions, except because it holds moisture in the bottom and rots. Yeah.
Yep, that's why if you're going to put onions or potatoes on a shelf like this, if you're going to use something, make sure it's got holes through it, like the toolbox liners that looks like a miniature lattice work. It'll allow it to breathe. And see you later, Albany.
All right, take care, Albany. All right, so yeah, I think we're going to need to wrap this up here. Any other suggestions from the side chat? We're getting ready to wrap it up. One of the things I was thinking from what Audra was saying there about plastic containers, you can also get the plastic imitation milk crates, which are lattice work and stuff, and use those to store stuff in. And they got the holes in the bottom and stuff, so they aerate too as well. If your storage unit like this is in the house, something I would suggest you to get something like this. If I can get the aim right. Okay, so the top number here is the humidity in the room. The bottom number is the current temperature. In here it shows the high and low humidity over the last week and the high and low temperature over the last week. And this was cheap on Amazon. I got this. This is from Accurite, ACURITE, and I got this last year. And it's got double A batteries in it to run it, and I haven't changed the batteries yet. So,
tip top when it comes to toiletries. That's right for me anyway. Of course, I've been doing this for far too many years. The best thing for toiletries is keep them in a separate area. That way, every time you go to get a roll of toilet paper or handy wipes or wipes, whatever, you're always looking at what you have in stock. Yeah. And my rule of thumb is if I have to open a package, the minute I'm halfway through that package, I go buy a new package. That way, I'm always adding to what I have, and I never run out.
Okay, let me throw this other one back up here again. So all you need to do, if you want to add a, see if I can get it over to go to it. Okay, you can barely see it right where the cursor is down here. There is a plus sign. Just click the plus sign and another sheet will pop, a blank sheet will pop up and you start filling it out. You can add as many sheets as you want to make this work. I remember one of the spreadsheets I used at work that I made, I had 50 tabs on it, but it was also to track all the tactical response plans for urban fires, wildfires, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, persons with infectious diseases, hijackings. I tracked all that stuff on it. And so I just had a tab for every type of event there was. And so it's very easy to do it. Now, if you don't have much experience with Excel, let me see if I can find it here real quick. I could. So Excel.
Okay, folks, I gotta go. I just had a power blackout.
Yeah.
I'm
All
on
right,
battery power right now.
All
Sorry
right.
about this. Later, Gil. Later, Dave.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. All right. This one right over here. This is it here. I typed in Excel hint sheet into Amazon. This thing came up. And let's see if I can get it to enlarge. Okay. And, has all sorts of functions and how to do stuff, rounding numbers up, down, how to format things. But yeah, generally you find one and look at it to make sure it has all the information out, because there are several different types that are out there for what you want it to do, and they're double-sided, they're laminated, and it's a great cheat sheet. This is not the one I got though. Oh yeah, there's more of them. See, there's quick introduction for Excel for Windows. Tables, how to work tables, pivoting them and stuff. There's different ones you can get, and that'll help you, work the spreadsheets. And there's some of them that have some really cool formulas pre-listed into it on how to do formulas. So, anything else here from the guys?
Nope. I think most people are starting to fade out.
All right. Yeah. So, all right. So, guys, if you want to get it, just like I say, just scroll down in the description down there, or if it says see more, click more, and it'll be the last line in the description down there. Got my email address. Email is to ask for the spreadsheet. Coming up here. So this coming Tuesday is what is your dream specialty gear? We're going to talk about certain things, that unique gear and things that people want. And we're going to talk about what is your dream one.
I only have 2 items.
Yeah. Next Friday is definitely going to be another 2-hour special. It's going to be the fragile food supply chain. And we're talking about why certain stores run out at certain times, why it takes so long to get stuff in stock. And we're going to be going into that. So that's next Friday. And then the following February 2nd, Tactical Tuesday, we're going to talk about knives, the right one for the right job. So do I ever sleep? Yeah. And about, I hear one of the kids screaming downstairs, so he's going to be up late. So I'll be up him until about 11 o'clock Mountain Time with him. And I'll get about 4 or 5 hours sleep.
I don't have any knives.
Yeah, I know. Me either. Yeah, I don't have any knives. Just look back at my 3-knife challenge video. But so that's what's coming up here.
Do we need to have flashlights handy too, like Uncle Al did?
Yeah, exactly. It's like right here. Let's see, what do I got right here? If I reach over here. Come on. It's hot. I got 2 LED lights right there hanging up on the one side. I got another one there. I got my big fluorescent one down there, portable one there for meets my my Sears Craftsman stuff. So yeah, I got lights.
Hey, Francis.
Yeah, Francis. Yeah, me neither.
Kalen, if it came right down to it, I don't think anybody would get in your way. If you had an SUV, you didn't have a driver, you just jumped in the driver's seat and said, "Get out of my way." I don't think anybody would stand in your way, young lady. I think if you needed an SUV and to move, you would get it moved. I have faith in your ability to drive it down the road to get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is our, we're going to talk about some interesting things. And it's basically a lot of it's going to come from you guys for Tuesday for your dream specialty gear.
Fish and Loaves. That is a play on words. He really didn't lose anything. But if some people come asking, lost it all in a boating accident. Lake Michigan is actually rose 6 feet in the last couple of months due to everybody losing their stuff in boating accidents.
So, all right, guys. So I think we're going to wrap it up here now. That's what's coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We got some more interesting things coming up in February. I'm going to have Reed up here a couple times in February going over electrical stuff. So we should have some interesting ones there. And everyone, as always, stay happy, stay safe, stay prepared, and don't get too excited about stuff. All righty?